What's good people, and welcome to the Silly Nerdy, Sometimes Wordy podcast, and I'm your host, BK, and this is episode 34, NFL Super Wildcard Preview, Dolphins vs Chiefs. And in this episode, I'll be previewing the Super Wildcard playoff matchup, Dolphins versus Chiefs, and a little bit of some coaching vacancies. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody is doing very, very well. Back here again with another playoff preview. Hope the week is going well. Let's get right into it. Before I get into this preview, I don't have any nerdy notes, but I do want to mention these coaching vacancies, really big. Surprise, really. Seattle Seahawks out of the NFC West, they have decided that Pete Carroll will no longer be the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. They will need to get a new head coach. However, he appears he will be staying on as an advisor on the Seahawks. However, the way that press conference went, you could tell he still wants to coach. But again, after, 14 seasons, he will not be coaching the Seattle Seahawks. We'll get into that a little later on another pod, hopefully. Another coaching vacancy, probably much bigger than Seattle, is the New England Patriots. After 24 seasons, head coach Bill Belichick and owner Robert Kraft have decided to mutually part ways, meaning that after a long 24 seasons, 6 Super Bowls, and many division titles, Bill Belichick will no longer be coaching the New England Patriots. They will need to get a new coach. Maybe they will get a GM as well, because he had GM player personnel control. So that was expected, possibly, but that's going to be weird, not seeing Belichick on the sideline on New England games. So big coaching change there. We'll see if they stay in-house or if they go outside. Of course, Gerard Mayo has been mentioned, as well as the recent coach of the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, former linebacker of the Patriots back in those early Super Bowls. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's get into the playoff preview with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. That matchup is taking place on this coming Saturday, January 13th, 2024, 8 p.m. And this is going to be exclusively on Peacock. Peacock is the streaming service for NBC. It will not be on network TV, NBC. The only other place you would be able to watch it is NFL Plus, which is the official streaming app of the NFL. So you must sign up for Peacock, or you must have NFL Plus, or maybe you'll have to just go to a friend's or family member's house to watch it that has Peacock or NFL Plus. But that is the only way you will be able to watch this Kansas City Chiefs game and Miami Dolphin matchup. Okay, speaking of the matchup, the two starting quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, he was drafted in the 2017 NFL draft. In the first round, he was number 10 overall out of Texas Tech. And of course, he has been to the most recent Super Bowls. He lost Super Bowl 55 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, that was quarterbacked by that Tom Brady team in 2020. And then he obviously won Super Bowl 54 against the 49ers. And he also won the most recent Super Bowl 58 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So, very successful. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he's one of the best in the league right now. On the opposite side, you have the other quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. He was drafted in the 2020 NFL draft, round 1, number 5 overall, out of the University of Alabama. Now, this will be his first playoff start. So he's not been to the playoffs prior to this matchup. So we will see how he goes. So he is 0-0. And these two teams did play back in Germany, and it was a 21-14 win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Miami Dolphins are limping into the playoffs. They have so many injuries, mostly on the defensive side, some on the offensive side. Of course, they already lost players to IR earlier in the season. They lost edge rusher Jalen Phillips to an Achilles injury. They recently lost Andrew Van Ginkel, edge rusher, to a foot injury. He's on IR. Their offensive lineman Connor Williams, he's on IR with an ACL. They also lost edge rusher Bradley Chubb to an ACL. He's on IR. So they are really, really banged up. And then they have their other starters, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Devin Achane. Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver, Raheem Mostert, the running back, Devin Achane. The running back, they are banged up. They've been in limited practice this week. Unclear if they are going to start, but hopefully they will play in this rather cold game. Tyreek Hill has also been banged up, but it looks like he should be available to play. They also have their offensive lineman tackle, Teron Armstead. He's been in limited practice. So they are down to, in some instances, to their second and third backup players. They've even signed multiple players off the street and elevated people from the practice squad. So they are going to be down, and we'll see if these players can step up in the moment. But they are not going in, obviously, with their players they would like to. So many injuries for the Miami Dolphins. And there's been reports, because this game is going to be in Kansas City, the game could be as low as 5 degrees with a -10 wind chill, could be even colder, could be one of the coldest games in NFL history. So for a Miami Dolphin team going into Kansas City, warm weather team going into a cold, not good, but we'll see what happens. But it's going to be really, really cold in Kansas City. Now, over to the Kansas City side, they have had their own issues, mainly on the offensive side. Their wide receiver room has been struggling all season long. You've seen the drops, you've seen the lining up not quite correctly on the offensive line that cost them a game. So we will see how it goes. Maybe Travis Kelce will be able to get it together along with that offense. So Rashid Rice, their rookie, has been it seems to have been Patrick's most reliable receiver, along with Travis Kelce. It will have to be Kelce and him. So we'll see, as well as the running backs. But they've had their struggles also. So we'll see how it goes. Their offense hasn't been as prolific as it's been in the past, but what's been carrying this Kansas City team has been their defense. They have been very excellent, and it will have to be that, along with some timely throws by Patrick Mahomes. So we will see how it goes. And in terms of the Miami Dolphins, with their injuries, they have been not as productive on the offense as well. And with the temperature being what it is, they like to do a lot of pre-snap motion, and we'll see how that is going to affect them in these weather conditions. So we shall see how this is going to go. I expect Kansas City to win this game, but the playoffs are one and done. So you never know what can happen. So, this will be an interesting game. It's going to be a night game with these frigid cold temperatures. So we'll see how it goes. And that is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Miami Dolphins game. Again, it will exclusively be on Peacock or on NFL Plus. So you'll have to get one of those streaming services in order to watch this game. Let's talk about another game real fast. I wasn't really going to get into this one. To be honest, I'm not really excited about this matchup, but I do want to mention it, and that is the first game on Sunday, January 14th, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers and Buffalo Bills. Like I said, I'm not really excited about this matchup. Obviously, we have Mason Rudolph and Josh Allen, the two quarterbacks going. Rudolph was a third-round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In that 2018 NFL draft, coincidentally, Josh Allen was also in that draft as well. He was a first-rounder, drafted a little bit higher. I can't remember. I think he was number 5 or so, but higher pick, obviously. And for the Steelers, they obviously will be without their great all-pro edge rusher TJ Watt. He was lost in an injury in the season finale game, so they will be without him. And for them, I would say they need to run the ball between Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris, run the ball and have timely passing, timely shots down the field, with Mason Rudolph throwing to George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. Run the ball, set up the pass to get some timely shots down the field. The Buffalo Bills defense has been playing much better as of late on this run that the Bills have been on. And if they can get the running back involved, the James Cook, get him involved in the passing game as well as in the running game as well as Stephon Diggs and their rookie tight end as well. He's been a factor down the stretch here, and as well as timely scrambles and design runs from Josh Allen. I expect the Bills to win this game, but if the Steelers can keep this game close, they have a good chance of winning this game. So I expect to have Mike Tomlin will have his guys ready to go for this game, despite not having TJ Watt, but they still have a good defensive line as well with Cam Hayward, and all those guys. So we'll see how this game goes. I see it being as a close defensive struggle, or unfortunately, I could see this being a blowout in the Buffalo Bills' favor. So we'll see how this game goes. Again, this game is going to be Sunday, January 14th, 1 p.m. on CBS and Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus is the streaming service for CBS. So we'll see how the matchup goes for that game, as well as the previous game I mentioned. And okay, that is all I have for you on these two games. Hope you enjoyed it. Please continue to check me out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, as well as iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts. Please leave a comment, follow, and let other people know. So that's it for this episode. And until next time, we will talk soon.